Hello, everybody, and welcome back to either fortunately or unfortunately the final week of this season of Overwatch for our teams tonight. I'm Martin Eva, and I'm joined by the talented, amazing AC Philly B. You are talented and amazing. I don't want to hear any laughing. So,
Thank you.
how are you doing tonight? We have a very, very interesting match lined up for you guys today.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm feeling fantastic. After having the week off, I was kind of itching to get back in the hot seat, do some casting, watch some collegiate Overwatch. So I'm happy that we are able to do this tonight. But then, like you said, Matt, a little bit sad because this leg of the season 5 will be over until January when our second half of the season will commence again for everybody. So we have a little bit of that holiday break. But to talk about the matchup, this is a huge, huge matchup. What I'm going to be looking for tonight, Mott, is the tank battle. We have Andrew in on the side of UTA. We know how prolific he can be on the Sigma, on the Doomfist. Anybody that you can imagine, he is pretty nasty. And then on the other side, my tried and true lad, Grandsco. We know he's the stalwart, the keystone of this team. And so I'm going to be looking at that matchup pretty heavily tonight.
Oh, I know Grandsco is your bestie of the night tonight. And like you're saying, we are definitely going to be seeing a tank v tank battle, which has been like kind of the biggest thing here in the past couple of weeks, where it's been so much Sigma going on here, even a little bit of the Rhine sometimes, but mostly that really flexible composition with the Sigma and going either the Poke Sigma or even like a modified Brawl Sigma is so interesting to see. And both teams here are so proficient at both compositions. So going in, we are gonna be seeing really like just really great stuff. It's a battle of the oranges as well. It really, we have the Broncos and not the Broncos. we have UTA's the horses, the Mavericks. I'm so sorry, and then the Falcons. I said the Broncos. I'm hilarious. I've been in football season. I'm tired. I'm tired. Go Broncos.
So I'm going to be looking at BGSU a little bit tonight, Matt, because they had a bye during week 7, and then obviously we were off last week for the Thanksgiving break. So they've had a little bit of time to kind of come up with the strategy for UTA. So let's see. We know UTA is beatable. They have given up a game or two throughout this leg of season 5. So let's see if BGSU comes out with a specific strategy to thwart some of the stuff that UTA is going to bring out tonight. So let's see if they're going to get something cooking here to take down one of these top contenders in the league.
Yeah, for sure. And even as we get into like our first couple matches in a couple of seconds, it's also the fact that, like you're saying, we did have a really nice little 4-day vacation, little Thanksgiving break moment, and it's either vacation time and they were chilling or they were grinding. And hopefully, what we were gonna be seeing here is that both teams are grinding all week, hopefully scrimming with each other, not each other, but scrimming all the time, and just making sure that they're on top of their game today. As we said for like the third time, and it's just sadder every time. This is the final week before our winter break into the spring season, so it's like you gotta give it your all. And I think we're also seeing that here because we know both teams do typically have a couple of like extra players just like to swap in for different maps for different purposes. But I think today they're gonna be throwing their all, their best of the best, most flexible players. Now going into the pools today, of course. We do have this beautiful lineup here. We have Busan for our control. Very, very fun to start with. I think it's just probably my favorite besides Lijiang. And then
Mm.
going in, we do have Bariso, New Junk City, Watchpoint, Gibraltar, the GOAT, and then, New Queen Street, I guess. It's very, very nice ending here. Hopefully, we can just, not touch Game 5, because New Queen Street is, whew, it's a push map. It's definitely a push map.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm actually really looking I'm looking forward to New Junk City, to be honest with you. I think there's so many unique terrain features, architectures that the teams can use, a lot of barriers and structures, things like that. So just watching these collegiate level players utilize all those key pieces of the map is going to be something everyone should be looking out for. So we'll definitely have New Junk City as it is a best of 3 here tonight, folks. So definitely looking forward to that one. But we will be rolling into Busan, our control map at first. And like you said, Matt, I think it will be a little bit more of that Sigma poke. I don't think the meta is going to change until the new balance patch that we were just talking about rolls out next week, I believe on the 6th. that Tuesday. That's always when they roll out balances. So make sure you get your weeklies done. Everybody get those coins in, and yeah, get ready for the season 8 balance patches for sure. And Malga will be that new tank that's coming in. So everyone's going to have that couple week off season to maybe get that new tank, maybe mix up the meta pretty thoroughly, and we'll see what happens in the new spring season. So another thing to look forward to for sure.
I miss Malga. I'll admit it. That weekend where we got to play with Malga, I miss him so much. The children yearn for a Hiscan tank, and Malga is the answer. But before we get into all that, again, we are still playing into with the Sigma comp. Our players getting ready here, and again, like we can begin saying, if we're going on something like Busan, I feel like both 2 of the 3 maps, the outdoors maps, are so good at just that long range kind of. You can kind of poke, you can be really flexible. But once you get, I believe, inside Mecha base, then it becomes more your traditional. I definitely agree with like a brawl comp here. Maybe not a switch from the Sigma, but definitely switching from like a poke character into like the Mei or into like the Sojourn. And as I talk about Sojourn, I mean, and Mei, funnily enough, we're seeing that right here, right now, and a little bit of a difference here, and I love this. A Bowling Green opting to go for the Sigma right now before they start, changing characters. Looks like they're gonna be going in with a pseudo, brawl with the Genji dive. Just to kind of poke out, bully the tank, but bully the supports a little bit with that Genji, and then that brawl backline of Baptiste and Lucio is a classic. Now, Arlington is not trolling tonight. We're going with the Hog, we're going with the Kiriana, and then of course the classic Sojourn Mei for that, forced close combat gameplay. Here we're already starting off right in main, and Nightmare Array goes down from Mei. And the best thing about having Hog is Hog can kind of self-sustain so beautifully. Missing the hook, however, Andrew has to go back in with the breather, and already it might be capped by Bowling Green as we stay on for a little bit longer, and no one to go down the cap. Someone has to. Even Buckle staying on the high ground for a little bit longer here, but forces out Bowling Green from their positioning, and then there we go. It's going to be University of Texas at Arlington taking the point in favor of themselves. Very convincingly so. Great cleanup from them all around.
And so we know that the backline of BGSU, they have good technical skills. They can be shifty at times, but they're going to be on their A game, because Buckle and Tags are no joke on that side of that DPS, letting out the first 2 picks and basically winning the point for their team. So I'm going to be looking for that backline of BGSU to be really shifty, protect each other, and really not go down first in some of these engagements now. So let's see how Arlington tries to retake this point here as Gransko launches himself onto the point.
Yeah, for sure. And there, Shady Snare going with the switch over to the Reaper, taking Tags out with a quickness. Reaper with that really high damage output, so good against Hog. And you're already seeing it. They force Texas and Arlington off of the point. We get the tank. Andrew gonna be popping Gransko right in the face, trying to get that point right back. We pop the Kitsune as well for some extra help. And then Andrew just kind of out DPSing the DPSs right now, taking care of everyone here, going in for the Death Blossom from Shady Snare, is taking care of the supports. Shady Snare, typical Q button from a Reaper. I love to see it. Andrew did pop the whole Hog, however, which you were by yourself. You got rid of the support, but at the same time, you again re-lost the point.
So one thing I have to point out, Shady just accrued that ultimate so quickly. I don't think the counters on the other side of Arlington even knew he had that up. So he just let it fly and just took down multiple members from the side of Arlington. I was going to suspect a switch from Andrew, but he is staying on there. He's going to trust his backline to keep him alive, because we know that Reaper is a hard counter for the Roadhog. Let's see how Arlington tries to engage us now to take the high ground.
Oh, that's a huge overclock from Buckle, but it's going to be countered by Gransko popping in with the Graphitic Flux. As a response, I think we are going to be seeing Tags drop down that Blizzard, really unable to capitalize off of it as Bowling Green continues their onslaught. We still have the overclock coming in from Night Levels on the other side. Andrew trying his best to get out of there, get out of dodge, and thankfully is able to. That beautiful sustainability from Hog after that rework has been putting in so much work. But again, Arlington unable to capture the point again. 80% already gone for Bowling Green.
And I struggle to see how the Roadhog is going to work here, because, yeah, Roadhog does have the hook, but it can be blocked by the shield. He wants to get up close and personal to make use of that scrap gun, but the Reaper is just keeping him at bay with those Hellfire shotguns, so it's really tough. A nice pick from Buckle!
Yo, Buckle just went in, knew what to look for, and went for the kill. I love that awareness, and I love just the dedication from Buckle all around. They are lacking a really, really important character, the important support, and that allows that's a really big opening for University of for Arlington to just go in. You get rid of the Baptiste immediately, and guess what? Your main healer, technically, quote unquote, your main source of healing is gone. It's up to just Lucio heals, and unfortunately, Lucio does not have the healing power outside of just amp healing to help out with that. So great turnaround for Arlington. They still have a good amount of ult economy building up in against Bowling Green, so this should work out really well.
But man, it's one fight territory. If they lose this fight, it'll be round 1 for Bowling Green. So Bowling Green knows that. They have a couple of tools in their pocket, though, to see how they can clutch this point up. Here comes Shady. Does he decide to use it? No, but he does force out the beat from the side of Jupiter. And Andrew comes in with the whole hog, just lets it go, and he gets taken down with a nice shot from Night Levels. And he looks like he's on the retreat now. And Gransko, though, that key member, he's just holding himself on the point, trying to keep it in, or trying to turn the favor rather for his team. I don't think he'll be able to do it as Arlington is just collapsing on him, and the Blizzard just to measure it and keep the point in the favor of Arlington. My goodness, this is just a all-out brawl out here, Moddies. Just ultimates are flying left and right. A swap from Andrew trying to keep the point in the favor, but it's not good enough, and it looks like BGSU will hold the point for this round.
For a second, when that fight first started here, they took out Shady Snare almost immediately. That was so huge because Shady Snare had that Death Blossom lined up, and I was fully expecting a Flux and Death Blossom combo going in. And even with the beat from Lucio, it's not enough. The sound barrier, the overhealth from sound barrier just would not be enough to counteract the half health from Flux, and then the Death Blossom being such a strong ultimate. Really, really great stuff all around, but it's gonna be Bowling Green taking it really convincingly. Andrew gonna be sticking onto the Roadhog, and I like the Kiriko here. Even though we did see Jupiter switch to Lucio mid fight, I like the Kiri because it helps keep Hog a little bit alive, even if Bowling Green doesn't have an Ana on their side to counteract that Hog. Why need a counter when you have Reaper, who does so much damage, just exploding damage on the Hog? You know, you can't heal forever at this point. You only have 12 seconds of healing, I believe, and then that's it.
It's true, and when you have a tank like Andrew, you got to do everything you can to support him. So yeah, they really are committing heavily in the terms of the personnel that they're bringing out in terms of Kiriko and Ana. So they're really going to do their best to see if Andrew can carry them to victory or create enough distraction as Buckle gets another pick.
Buckle has been bullying Nightmare all night long, and that wall is going to be bullying Gransko for a little bit too long. Couldn't even get any suck out because tagged with the Mei. He's kind of taking care of it alongside Andrew helping out there. And this is a really nice start for Arlington to get this point in their favor. That was a really, really solid team fight on the high ground. Now we're going to be going right back to the high ground and likely just going to try to just stall point as long as possible before any ult economy starts getting built up here. Gransko halfway to Flux already, which is kind of insane if you really think about it, with how fast Bowling Green did lose that team fight.
So, I mean, let's say Arlington is going through with a massive strategy where it's just like, all right, find the Baptiste, take him out early, and we win the fight because you can't really do anything after that. So Nightmares is always going to be the VIP, the priority target anytime there's in these engagements. He does get a member on the other side there with that gun, and it looks like Bowling Green is going to try to roll on through here, Maj.
And they absolutely are. Shady Snare had to back up off of a Buckle for a second. Buckle was almost down with basically 1 HP, but able to get out of there with the Soldier and Slide. Still very low. They have really no supports right now until, there we go, Kiriko is back. Jupiter is ready for the Kitsune Rush, and that's a nano from Xing. If we can be able to utilize it, however, I'm not sure. We're all kind of a little bit split apart, just trying to get ourselves back on point. There's a Kitsune to help out our Roadhog, and maybe a whole hog. No, that's a clock instead coming in from Night Levels, and Night Levels can hit those heads, and let's see if they're able to do so. Oh, that's a whole hog with a Kitsune Rush.
That's huge, the Gatling gun, but it doesn't. Everyone runs and hides, and that splits him up just enough for Gransko to come in with the Gravitic Flux, and he finds the supports in the backline. Can he finish him off? He does find Xing, and can he find the final? No, Kiriko's just too shifty. Nope, there's that punch to the noggin, and she's sent back to spawn. I think it will be a point keep for the side of BGSU. Well done.
So unfortunate that, you know, Andrew just couldn't get out. Got the really good sleep. Evan going over to the Ana, which I super agree with, especially in this, you know, this, I don't want to say a meta, but this, like, this emergence of Roadhog after his rework.
Mhm.
Ana is so imperative in this matchup, and now Jupiter has to be even more conscious of that Suzu at all times. It's gonna be a tiny bit, definitely annoying to deal with. Oh, that's a massive hook,
Oh!
but the slide helping out 9 levels in a jiffy. Now we're gonna be popping the overclock from Buckle, and hopefully can we get some heads. Now everyone's just hiding out in cover. Shady Snare, very, very brave, but even with the Death Blossom in his back pocket, gonna be taken out very quickly. It's a very big disadvantage for Bowling Green. 9 level is taking care of Buckle with a quickness, and now we're back on the point. We have to contest as long as possible as that point continues to go in favor of Bowling Green. Huge hook from Andrew. Nightmare once again, target number 1, but here comes Shady Snare being a little bit shady. The Death Blossom gonna pop it, and brother, gotta pop it now. I feel it. There we go. There it is. I felt it. I knew it was coming. Great whole hog, but a little bit too late, unfortunately. But we get Evan on the other hand.
Wow, okay. Just in the nick of time, once again, Arlington caps the point on the back of Andrew, just really facilitating. Roadhog is just a distraction tank, right? He's like, look at me, look at me. He's just a meat sponge, right? Just taking bullets left and right. And what that does is allow the other members to go on flanks, find sneaky picks, right? So that's what he's there to do. And when he's able to find that purchase, they are able to do it to great effect and win some team fights there. But he can't find it every single time. Here comes that Graphitic Flux Mine.
Oh,
Slap
huge sleep! Yo! Huge sleep! Huge sleep! And we get the nano. Yo, this is literally me. I love Ana so much. Big nano, big anti-other team as well. No lamb, so that's basically death for the team of Bowling Green. Unable to continue this team fight. Tags on the Genji now. Still trying to fight, and they live. Oh my god. Yo, I'm not ever gonna get that sleep. I need that sleep clipped right now. Right now. It was so good.
That team fight was won by Shin, okay? He slept the Gravitic Flux, he nanoed his tank, and then he got a 3-person biotic grenade in the back line for then Andrew to take that space and just wreck people. But here comes Night Levels with a triple kill.
Wait, this is huge. Wait, it just turned around. That was so fast. Wait! How they do that? Yo! Philly, how did they turn that around so quickly? It was so in favor of Arlington, and then suddenly Bowling Green, they send Shady Snare up to contest point with Reaper, Reaper Wraith or Reaper Teleport, and everyone focused in on Shady Snare. Like, oh my god, what's he going to do? Why is he on point? Let's try to get him right now. Completely forgetting about everyone else coming in from the high ground. Night Levels with the overclock as well, just kind of evaporating the biggest factor here, which is your DPS and your tank. You're crazy. They're crazy. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely massive. And if anyone ever wonders why the high ground is important in Overwatch, that is a prime example right there. The fact that he was able to ping heads on every shot, every railgun blast, like that just it amplifies the damage so much, and you're able to get those picks just one after another, and that secures the point. He just deadlifted his entire team to flip it and win. BGSU got a point. They have a point on the board. They are in the lead, Mott. So a huge deadlift there by Night Levels on that Sojourn, and he's been winning some of those 1v1s against Buckle on that ramp, that rafter part in the side of Mecha Base. They were dodging, crouching up and down, and Night Levels was able to get the pulse cannon off and take out his counterpart. So Night Levels has been winning a lot of these 1v1 matchups on the flank, which then allows him to take space into that backline and put a lot of pressure onto that Ana and that Kiriko, who are there to really just support Andrew. And if they can't support Andrew, Andrew's gonna just die immediately, because like I said, Roadhog is just that like focus, like, hey, look at me. And if he has no support behind him, he's gone in an instant.
If I'm not constantly healing my hog, he will die. Like, that's just how he kind of is. And at least with his new rework with the I call it the vapor, but I shouldn't call it vapor. The take a breather.
Yes.
He has great survivability, but only for so long. You have to be so conscious of where your supports are. Are they getting attacked by the Sojourn? Are they getting attacked by even by Nightmare on the Baptiste? They were kind of, he was doing a really, really good job at just finishing out kills, helping his DPSs out with that extra damage output that BAP does have. So it's like, what can Hog do? And I respect Andrew for believing in the Hog. But at some point, it becomes a matter of I might have to just go Sigma versus Sigma or a more viable tank. Even go Orisa. Orisa she just stands there and survives anything besides besides Hog right now, he does get so easily countered by Ana as well, by Reaper. You saw the headshots from Nightmare
Mhm.
from I'm sorry, our friend Sojourn. Like we're clicking heads, and he's disappearing.
And if we know Andrew, he's a little bit of a troll. So I think that the Roadhog pick was just him kind of like, all right, can this be viable? Can I do this at a collegiate level, right? And against BGSU, they're yeah, maybe they only have one win on the season, but they're not a bad team, right? When they are all working together on all cylinders, they can really get some things done. And like we said, they had those 2 weeks off, so maybe they were cooking something up in the kitchen to bring Andrew down. So I think he's going to change off of this. If I know him, he'll probably go to the Doomfist or this just mirror the Sigma as well. And once he's on a tank that's more meta, I think he'll be a little bit more viable and put a lot more pressure on that backline. So, but he's posturing right now onto the Diva, so that is interesting. There's a lot of high ground, low ground areas on Pariso, so I don't hate this here for the Diva.
You know how long it's been since I've had Pariso in any of my comp games? I just realized this. I haven't seen this map in literally years. So Bowling Green, I'm expecting them to kind of swap everything around, but so far, the comp here, very interesting. Oh, they're not switching. We really have a nightmare. I mean, a nightmare. We do have a nightmare. We do have a Life Weaver and an Ana together, which I love. I personally, as a Life Weaver main, love the Ana Weaver synergy. But we have Shazer and Nivels on the reworked Sombra, which is very, very interesting. Gonna be very difficult, I feel like, to come in because they're both playing kind of a dive comp here, and Andrew has to deal with Shady Snare with the Echo Beam, so you can't absorb that. Going in here, we're poking a little bit on the high ground as that's where University of Texas Arlington is going to be stationed, and they're not going to budge. Hopefully, Tags can land these shots on Shady Snare and get something started here, because that Echo might be the biggest factor here.
I mean, this is reminiscent of the Fortress comps we used to see back in Overwatch 1 with Orisa just kind of bunkering down with the shield and having the Baptiste behind. That's what Arlington kind of wanted. They're like, come at us, we're going to have the high ground, and we'll just snipe you from there. Unfortunately, they got a little bit collapsed on. They're not dead yet. They just got disengaged, so they're going to try to come back in, and there's a massive hack from the side of Night Levels to get that Diva out, and there's the point capture for BGSU.
Oh, they just captured point, like, in a minute. That was beautiful. They have 5 whole minutes to play around with. I love Night Levels on the Sombra. It's going to be making Diva's life so much harder to deal with. Poor Andrew. Now it's up to Arlington to really restation themselves, but with the way that Grandscope is playing here, he's playing very aggressive, not allowing to really truly get set up here as the payload is just kind of leisurely moving by. It's already almost about halfway through point A, and Nightmare on the Life Weaver, I'm a humongous fan, like a big Life Weaver fan. Great punch from Grandscope right there.
Yeah, I gotta talk more about this Life Weaver pick. This is huge because you can support Grandsco by pulling him back with the grip. You can support Shady in the sky because the Blossoms do get up there. So he's able to facilitate so much with just put a ton of effort into it as well. So yeah, definitely facilitating his team to the utmost. And here comes Grandsco just demolishing people in the backline. A double kill from him, and then Arlington is just tumbling under the might of the Doomfist.
Yeah, I'm glad that we mentioned Doomfist at some point, because Doomfist, he's so good in the right hands. Like, it's either like you don't know how to play Doomfist, or oh my god, I want to uninstall the game. And the way that Grandscope is playing is so good right now. Andrew's dangling a Diva, going in with the Nano from Shing on their tank. Man, and of course Bucko going in with the overclock, not gonna be taking Grandscope out quite yet. And there's an EMP, unable to cancel it in time. We have a whole lot of ultimates just being used now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 ults used by Arlington. And is it enough to secure this payload? It actually might be, as they secure only 2 meters from the point of being capped to point B. Really solid stuff all around, but that was a lot of ultimates used there, Philly. I'm not sure if Pulse is really gonna be like the game changer here in a response to like Duplicate, Doomfist, all these, and of course Tree of Life.
I think they had to press Q to win to prevent the payload from getting to checkpoint 2. The payload will move back a little bit as BGSU is trying to engage, but it was expensive on the side for BGSU. They invested in EMP, they invested in Nano as well. So Arlington's going to be looking to win this in the neutral. Pulse Bomb might be able to do it if they just take somebody out in the back line here. Can they do it? Stuck.
Not like this. I felt that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So that's both supports completely gone. And like I said, is Pulse gonna be enough here? Oh, it definitely is. We have no supports. Doomfist cannot do much without his supports. We're going for Meteor Strike. Can we get onto the D.Va who's trying to fly away? No. Oh, yo, there's no way. There's no way. Great stuff all around. Andrew just taking care of Shady Snare at the last second, and I think that saves Andrew for a little bit longer, which is so funny, but the remake is gonna be very, very quick. That kill for Andrew was very, very imperative to get that mech back. Complete restart.
I mean, you take that. You take that if you're Arlington, because that's time off the clock for BGSU, right? They didn't get any progress on the payload there. So it was, yeah, double kill for both, like on both sides for the support. So it was just the tanks and the DPS going at it. And Arlington did come out on top.
Oh, we can't find Tracer. Tracer's gone. Alright, we're going in against the backline and the Soj. Keeping the Ana alive, though, I love that teamwork coming in from Arlington as Gransco continues to kind of assault the tank here. Good sleep and then a duplicate into the D.Va. We're going to be going in against the Ana, but not going to be enough. No extra bomb from Shady Snare, unfortunately enough. Going to be unduplicated in a very quick moment, and then the bomb does get Nightmare in the end. Arlington is finally being able to actually get their positioning down and able to kind of continue this this good hold they have on the very last point of checkpoint B.
Yeah, I wonder if I would want to say go for a switch, but I think that was they're just waiting for all the ultimates to come online. The EMP to Doomfist. I think that'll be the opening. But Tags gets a pick on a Nightmare. That's huge.
Poor Nightmare. That's a really big part of your healing just gone, and Bowling Green has to kind of retreat a little bit till their life does come back. Unless they want to just go right in, they do at least have EMP, and they do have Meteor Strike, which are two really great ultimates alongside the Nano. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be using them all at once. That is the EMP. Be pushing our support and our DPS into that little corner over there, and that level's out of there as Gransco's gone to clean up the rest of this. We are low. We're going for the Meteor Strike. Can we get our supports? Can we get the supports? Can we get the supports? And we get our Ana Shing gone, swished by Doomfist. Huge feat, bro. But Gransco going down. Taking a good trade, though, for Jupiter. This is really, really good.
Oh my gosh, okay, that was massive. I mean, Jupiter did stay alive enough to do the sound barrier through the EMP, which allowed Arlington to kind of fight through that. But Gransco just, Herculean effort here, getting both supports in the backline and then able to allow Buckle to go down as well. So it looks like they're teetering now, Arlington, with just straggling onto the point. There's that nano boost we were talking about, Mott. It was going on to the Doomfist, but it's Lucio just so did he what? Refocus somebody else? That's crazy. Okay, he does try to switch targets now and does finally get Jupiter in the back end, but Buckle does find one as well. Gransco being a stalwart on that point with the block and trying to get everybody to will forward, but Andrew does come in on Doomfist as well. We know how good he can be. Can he make an impact here as the battle is raging forward? It looks like Shady Snare does with the duplicate onto Doomfist, so we got triple Doomfist on the field. Everyone focusing Andrew now. The Meteor Strike does come in, add a little extra damage and a little extra boost to him, and Gransco has his now. Does he decide to use it? Doesn't need to. They cap point 2.
That was the craziest fight I've ever seen. 3 Doomfist is already crazy. And the fact that it worked out so well for Bowling Green to actually cap point and continue, albeit with only about a minute left to reach it all the way to the end for those 3 points. But even then, even though they did cap at 2 points, Arlington has such a good opportunity here to get them to overtime and then just kind of hopefully roll them in when they finish them on attack. But before we go to all that, we had to really fight on this high ground right now over the bridge. Now, I love the switch here from from Shin going over to the Kiriko. Really good in these tight and close spaces. That Kitsune Rush is going to be vital here as we get that Suzu for the anti. Great awareness from Shing all around. We do have Jupiter hacked out, but we still have we do have the beat drop, and we do have a beat drop of our own. The Doomfist coming in from Gransco. And can we get the kill? No, life grip out of position. Gonna be letting Buckle live a lot longer for this overclock. That's so unfortunate.
Both support alts committed there for Arlington in the defense of that final turn, and I think that's what they had to do it, because now there's only a few minutes left on the clock. They're going to try to push up to spawn so that no one can even contest the payload. He'll switch to Tracer from Shady, but I don't think they'll make it in time. Yeah, so nice ultimates committed from the side of Arlington to hold the cart where it is midway through point 3. So All right, they have the goal now. The golden box of victory will be on there. So Arlington knows where they need to get to now. I'm curious to see if they'll stay on the Diva. I don't think so. I think they might go for the Doomfist as well. So we'll see. But a nice defense there. They whittled a lot of time on that point too. With their defense, it was a very scrappy, here and there. It wasn't. They didn't really do any set plays, any set defenses. They were just kind of, man marking, if you will. Just everybody find with their counterpart and just try to take them out the best you can and survive. So we'll see if they come up with something a little bit more formulated on the attack.
Oh, for sure. The defense was able to take the time all the way down from 5 minutes to overtime before they got that point B. It was such a good defense from Arlington, and I expect the same of their attack. I expect them to cap point with about 5 minutes to spare, and then hopefully with their goal in mind, you're able to kind of just push right through and get your W on the board, on the scoreboard. Before we go to all that, though, Bowling Green can be going over for the more traditional poke composition with the Zenyatta, our favorite here. Phil, you already know this. We have a Zenyatta on deck, and we do have a we're staying with the Echo, going over Sojourn, going over the Sigma, and then Evan staying with the Baptiste. And I love this. This is a very classic poke Discord. You die in 2 hits. And then Arlington going over for the Echo Mercy rather than the Farm Mercy, and I love to see a little bit of variation in that double flight team.
Yeah, each team trying to facilitate their echoes in different ways, right? Whether it's the Mercy Pocket or with the Harmony Orb. So Arlington going with a little bit more of a dive, right? They're going to just try to follow Andrew in, pick down a target, probably at Squishy Zen in the back, and then just take everybody out one by one after. But they have to find a foothold here first, Mott, and that's the toughest part in the game.
Yeah, for sure, you saw Andrew wiggling a little bit there, trying to find an opening. As we see again, they're doing Arlington doing sort of great job at trying to find an opening, trying to, avoid the poking, and this is what the big brain idea is. Go right from around. Why not just go around and catch him from around surprise? Go right to the high ground. Loving that Bucko is trying to go for Shady Snap right there. And again, we're seeing tags and Jupiter on the Mercy, forcing the flank option, the front approach, and it's helping out a lot here. We do have Buckles go down, though. Andrew's D-Mech, Xing does go down. It may not work for as long as we thought it was going to. Andrew's stuck in that little corner. Mercy has nowhere to go. Let her live. Not like this. Don't overextend. Not like this. Thank you. Thank you. Mercy lives another day again, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Mott, that was very interesting. It was a split push tactic from the side of Arlington, right? It was like, all right, Echo Jupiter, you kind of poke them at from this bridge area, kind of say like, oh, we're here, look at us. Take the other 3 around the side and see if you can find a pick with the Sojourn plasma shot, right? They weren't able to find it. Buckle does go down, and then the dominoes just fell after everybody got staggered. So let's see if they try that split push again, or they try to go in as a unit. Andrew now has switched to the Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball? Oh, I love this. I love these picks we're seeing. So we saw Doom, we're seeing Ball. We force out the lamp immediately. Everyone's a little bit at half health, a little bit low. And this is actually working so well. The Echo Duplicate coming in for this, for the 3-hit Sigma. Hello. And it's not going to be enough as the Kitsune is utilized in that corner there. I love the positioning, but not going to be enough. We do have the Window and the Transcendent utilized at the exact same time. You're playing Ball, but guess what? There's a Discord over on you. That is going to be the biggest pain in your backside as that Ball tries to go for the flank once more. Andrew, ooh, we going a really big angle. I didn't even know you could do that. Ooh, try to get him off the high ground, and it works! It works! I love this.
Massive tech from the side of Andrew, really displaying skill and the maneuverability of Wrecking Ball. He's actually one of my favorite tanks in the game. I play him all the time, so great to see some of that maneuverability there. And this is got to be the point capture for them. So this is huge. Andrew had to deadlift that because in the previous engagement, Xing committed the Kitsune rush after Jupiter went down, and that's a risky play. Like you knew you were going to lose the fight at that point. So the fact that the Wrecking Ball was able to bowl people over off that high ground, get a pick off of it, and kind of just scatter everybody. He's one of these distraction heroes once again, Mott. Just look at me. And while that happens, the rest of your team takes folks out one by one. So let's see if Andrew stays on this. He does have Minefield, but I think he might change off of it because the street space is a little bit difficult to kind of get.
Oh, there goes Andrew. Goodbye, Andrew. Like you're saying, if you want to switch off, you definitely could. This is definitely where Sigma does reign superior in terms of this current tank matchup. This long hallway is going to be a pain for Arlington to get through. I love Taz going over to the Genji, going in for the deflag. No deflag means you got to get out of dodge for a second there, and we definitely do. Minefield on the high ground. I see it. I see the vision. The vision is here, and you don't have a lamp. Oh, that's huge. That's a great minefield. Such smart play from Andrew all around. All that's left is Nightmare on the Brigitte. And you're trying to get away. Your show's breaking. Let her live. Okay, great. Yep. We live. Nightmare lives to see another day. Good for him. But really smart minefield from Andrew all on the high ground. Everyone just kind of had to leave. You didn't have lamb. You have nothing. It was great.
They're able to contest once more, but who will be the sacrificial lamb to keep the point alive? And it looks like it will be Evan. That's huge because he is the main source of healing. And a double pile driver kill for the side of Andrew. He is just taking this game to a whole nother level on this wrecking ball. A triple kill for him to get them to cap point 2. Absolutely massive there. Oh no, they haven't capped it yet, Matt. I'm so sorry. Grant is still stalwart here, trying to prevent the team from doing so. Does he? What?
Oh,
No way. They held. They held it.
He gets out of there. They have less than a meter. 9 level is going over to the Sombra, and that's where Andrew's gonna be like, damn, I cannot play this game. This is gonna be what Sombra is known for. Hack Andrew out of ball form, and then guess what? You gotta stay in the regular form, and you can't do anything about it. So I'm really interested to see how 9 level is gonna be utilizing that hack in his favor. But before all that, Buckle getting a clean headshot on Shady Snare. And then, again, you see Andrew trying to tickle the backline a little bit, backline, but Sombra's right there to protect his team. You see the Nano Blade. Oh, you're dead. No sleep. The sleep missed the Genji is so unfortunate. Great whip shot from Brigitte, but it's not going to be enough. Tags going in for the kill.
But the fight is not over. If we learned anything from last time, not. As long as Gransko's still on the point, anything can happen, and Shady does use the duplicate to keep himself alive, but that sleep will put an end to that. Gransko does fall in the meantime. This has to be the point flip for the side of Arlington, and there it is. Another minefield coming out from Andrew. I must have to say, Shing, massive Kitsune rush in the previous engagement. They've been accruing this ultimate so quickly. It's just been a beautiful sight to behold. Eventually, when we have a little bit of time, I do want to talk about Andrew's first minefield because a Jupiter biotic grenade set that up so perfectly, and there was nothing the other team could do. They just cascaded right into those mines and got blown up. Andrew with a massive health pool here, trying to take the high ground first team.
There's the rally from Nightmare trying to help out his team. Now let's gang the virus on Shing. Shing is down for the count. There's no support. There's one less support, and then Tags goes down as well. Trying to go for the hack, trying to get the ball out of here, and it absolutely works. That is a complete roll in favor of Bowling Green. I love that, and they didn't even use any ultimates. They have the well, they used rally to be completely fair, but they have the flux, they have the EMP, they're about to have the window with Evan's healing output. Like, it's gonna be a really good hold. This is the recipe for a really good hold for another minute and a half for Bowling Green. And but we have the Winston pick. Hey Winston, you're dead. Winston. Bye Winston. Bye Shing. Bye Tags. They're forced back into their spawn, Philly. What do? They have overclock at least, but what else?
Well, we've seen what Baku could do with overclock, so it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility, but that was a really key engagement for the side of BGSU, using only one ultimate in order to win it. So let's see how they approach here. The Winston needs a lot of resources. Okay, he jumps on in. The Nano... Oh, okay, there's Baku. What we were talking about. There's one knot.
Okay, that's one. That's huge. Chaser's a really big part of this team here. That's 2. That's 3. Evan and Nightmare going down as most support's gone, and then your tank. Wait, this might... Do you think they have time to touch before all 4 players on this payload make it to the end? It's just up
night levels.
To night levels. Yeah. He's gonna get poked out.
He has to.
No, come on. There we go. They made it. EMP. Beautiful. Oh, all I gotta do is connect. That's my go. Andrew goes down, but the blade. Everyone in close quarters. It completely washes everyone. The blade carries everything. Everyone's too close together. You can't get away. Boom, bam, bop. Everyone goes down. Even though Andrew went down really fast, they were able to cap and put a score on a scoreboard right now. And this was a great kill from Andrew here. The double kill from the power driver. You're just different. You're absolutely different.
I mean, how do you even squish an Echo, right? Like an Echo should just be in the air, like off to the side, whatever. No, flattened by that pile driver. Matt, I have to point out that last engagement there. So yeah, we saw night levels. They were sneaking. They knew they had the EMP. And they got a 5-person EMP, but they weren't able to do anything off the back of it. So like we were talking about before, with the balance changes, where the EMP will lock out abilities for 3 seconds, that might have been enough to win that engagement, because of 3 seconds, the Dragon Blade might not come out, the Genji goes down, all that stuff. Of course, these are all hypotheticals. Arlington did take the map. I think the Genji Blade was unaccounted for this on the side of BGSU. They weren't clocking, they weren't tracking it well enough, which in the previous engagement before that one, going back another level, Tags got 3 kills off of that. So massive, absolutely massive kill for him. Folks, we are going to take a really quick break. Don't go anywhere, because this one is on fire.
Guys. We're back from our break, and our players are ready to go going into our map 3. That map 2 was explosive today. Absolutely explosive. Like, I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I'm glad that it's very even tonight, but it for sure looked like Bowling was gonna be able to defend that last point, but then Arlington just had a really good trick up their sleeve, you know?
Yeah, I mean, explosive is the right word, Mott. Andrew with these clutch minefields, just spewing them all over the battlefield, just causing so many eliminations for the side of BGSU. So, yeah, and like we mentioned at the top of the program, Andrew's a very technical player. We know what he can do, but he has been greatly supported by his backline. If you see, every time he gets an elimination, there's 2 little images right next to that name, and it's the Ana and it's the Kiriko. So every time he's diving in, there's a bio grenade going in. There's a little of the healing cards coming after him as well. He is being supported quite heavily. And what any good tank does is they create space for their DPS lines, and so that allows Buckle and Tags to do their thing, get some eliminations on the back line as well. On the side of BGSU, I've really been impressed with what they've been able to do. They've been standing tall against the onslaught, the tidal wave of what Arlington is bringing at them. And so something I'd like to see a little bit more is the backline staying alive. Okay, I think is it Nightmare? Yeah, on the Baptiste. He's been going down early a couple of times here, and that's kind of spelled doom for his team. So I want to see him being a little bit more protected. Maybe instead of maybe Evan goes on Verdita, or goes on somebody that can keep his BAP even more alive than he can already keep himself, right? But like I mentioned, we're going into New Junk City, and I'm excited for this one.
Andrew's gonna get banned on Twitch again. Andrew, what did you do, buddy? What did you do to get I just read chat, like, oh, okay. So going into New Junk City, which is very exciting. I am in love with both competitions here. My own team, we play both comps here with the Jungle Queen and with the Zarya. 2 queens pitted against each other. I hate to see it, truly. But what's here is we see Nightmare on the Moira, which is one of my favorite picks because of that damage orb. Just kind of just throwing it out in that nice closing space. We see that we do see Tags going in very, very close, but against the Zarya, against Bucko, who has been I'm sorry, not against Zarya, against Gransko, against Night Levels, who is on the Junkrat. It's like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be even harder to play against as the Genji going into both competitions here. Both of them have to deal with beam characters of some sort. We do have at least both Lucios who are going to be able to taxi their team to and from point so quickly. So already, really, really good start for Arlington getting that point, taking up to 30% already.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know it's a junk city level, but you don't have to play all the junk characters in the game. So I like to switch off of the Junkrat there. I was gonna say I like to switch off. I would want Grant to switch off the Junker Queen, but no, they just use the Lucio speed boost and just mow him down with that buckshot. Boom, and there's the dagger, and there's the finish. Oh no, the bubble keeps him alive, and he gets Andrew turns the tables on him. But Nightmare is there to follow up with that a little extra damage that Morris provides. But the fight is not over yet, Mott, as there are still two remaining members on the side of Arlington who are trying to keep the point. All right, there we go. That Moira can just go through anything. Like you said, those beam characters, so hard to get rid of. But what I wanted to mention is the reason why I'm a little iffy on the Junker Queen is that she has no defensive capability, right? The beam can just mow people down in the back line. So let's see if Jupiter on this engagement decides to use their speed boost to just push everybody forward, go right past the Junker Queen, take out the back line, and win the fight. So we'll see how this engagement goes as both teams are posturing now.
I'm loving this high ground being taken. Oh, whoa. Speaking of high ground, that is a blade. That is a grab. You're dead. You're ultimately dead. I'm sorry to tell you this. Tag just kind of popped off right there.
Wombo combo.
No, that was a great wombo combo. The grab into blade, you already know. Even that meme of the guy who's looking up and he's crying and he's like, he's assessing his fate. Yeah, that was literally the entire team of Bowling Green. Just like, oh, okay, we're stuck. You hear the blade? Yeah. It's GG's. We move next, truly. First point going over to University of Arlington, going over a next flashpoint, and look how close they are. We always talk about this, the RNG of where the next flashpoint is going to be. It was so in favor of Arlington. Bowling Green hasn't even had a chance to set up and like see the point.
Yeah, that is true, but a couple of ultimates on the side of Arlington, and they do have that high ground, so they're going to use them sparingly to put out now for the side of Arlington with the overclock and the Kitsune rush. Let's see how Buckle gets it done here. And oh, it does go down from the axe, the carnage of the Junker Queen, but takes two with him as a little martyrdom. And they are able to keep the point. However, though, there's 5 ultimates on the side of BGSU, so it might be a press Q to win in order to cap the point quickly away from Arlington.
Look at the economy here, however, Philly. We have 5 ultimates lined up for Bowling Green. They could definitely use all of them in one go. Or I hope that they only use maximum 2, maybe the Rampage and maybe the Coalescence for that sustainability, just to not even just to like do damage, just keep everyone alive. That's a dash, that is a blade, that is a beat to keep everyone alive also used. So there is a 2 beats going on, there's Coalescence as well, and there was that other there was that Dragon Blade. So that's 3 ultimates for Bowling Green, and it works out very, very beautifully. I'm glad that they used only three ultimates there, and it was very smart. 60% is on the side of Arlington, but with how fast these points go and how they tick up, is really easy to make this back to an even game, and maybe even in favor of Bowling Green.
So that was a really intelligent play by Shady. So the blade was actually not there to get kills. It was there to force the beat out, right? Just the threat of the blade. You sometimes will just panic, just ultimate, right? Just to protect the team and see what happens. So it was to get it out, and then the more dangerous abilities and ultimates came forward. So the Coalescence came through to take some folks down. So that was a good engagement there. Now, Night Levels with the overclock. Let's see if he can get things done with it.
Alright, the overclock didn't get too much, unfortunately, as it does drive Bowling Green back a great deal. Gransko and company, haha. Able to just clean up, even though we didn't get too much off of our initial overclock. We're able to just profit off of everyone kind of spreading out. Scarily overclock. Tags has blade lined up as well. We have grab. They could do another grab blade, but I'm not even sure they're able to get Andrew there in time. The team fight has already started. Zarya is nowhere to be found. That's a Suzu wasted. That's Carnage. That's a blade. There's a lot going on here. There's a Kitsune rush. There's a press Q to win, but Nightmare on top of it, getting rid of Jupiter, getting rid, and also Tags going down as well. This Junker Queen has been so worthwhile to have on deck, but the grab not gonna be enough. You are 100% charges as Zarya, but even you can like 1v5 an entire grab team. It's 1-to-1 now in Flashpoint for both teams. Next Flashpoint, hopefully whoever gets there first can set up really quickly. Oh my god!
Wow, that's really fortunate once again for the side of BGSU. no high ground really on the bomb factory section of the map, so they're just going to have to play around some of these pillars and architecture like we were mentioning at the top of the program. However, I'd like to see more patience from the side of Arlington. They kind of have a chip on their shoulder. They're a little bit cocky, as we know, so they just kind of expended ultimates willy-nilly to try to take a lost fight in that last flashpoint, and it didn't work out for them at all. Like, why expend that grab? It was just 1v5, right? So they have no tools really coming into this one, so they're just tumbling down left and right as BGSU is working really well as a unit to just communicate and take every member down. A 15-player kill streak for the side of Gransco. He is on fire.
I love the Jungle Queen so much. I love Jungle Queen as a character a lot. She is so... I think she's one of the most fun tanks to play with and play as. And it's for this reason. She has great sustainability with all her melee and all her knife attacks, giving self-healing. Evan is coming back, just kind of scouting out where they are. And finally, Arlington coming back, hopefully with a plan here. All they have is a little bit of charge towards a grab, and then they have no answer to this Blade from Shady Snare. Can he get any kills? No, missing the health pack, unable to capitalize off of a Gransco right on the back end. Does not care. Gransco is kind of popping off with the Jungle Queen. We get the knife, and then we pull in Andrew at the same time. Bucko and Andrew both going down. 20-player kill streak! Yo, cracked. Rampage has Rampage been used like once?
I don't know. It has to be. It has to be. It had to be used at least once. We don't know if we caught it or what happened with it, but he got a 20-player kill streak mod, which means he touched every person in that engagement because he was at 15, then he got to 20. That's crazy, the fact that he was participatory in every single elimination. Once again, Shady Snare was just the sacrificial lamb there, just putting in the blade, seeing if you get a little bit of damage, and then Grant is actually the one that is doing the DPS on this team, okay? So it was just like, okay, get him down to half, I'll finish him from there, and then we'll keep this point. And so that was well done from them to just use one ultimate to win that engagement and keep it going. Here's that Rampage mod.
Oh, there's a Rampage and a really, really excellently timed grab to just kind of negate that option from Gransco. This should be a really easy cleanup. No need to get the Blade either. At least they have another ultimate ready and lined up in case of another team fight on the side of Tags and Shing. That Kitsune Blade does go kind of crazy in my experience. But again, just a really smart grab from Andrew all around. Gransco finally using that Rampage and unable to get anything off of it. I love that from the side of Arlington. Finally able to get the next point in their favor. This is becoming a very, very heated and even game here, Philly. This is definitely a game of who can just get whole point better.
I think it's a game of intelligence, right? Who is using their cooldowns and ability to great effect to thwart the other team, right? So that grab was well patient he knew that they had it on the other side, and that was their engagement tool, their win condition, and he saved it just for that moment. Man, this is a back and forth battle as both teams are losing members, but I think the beat from Jupiter will secure it, the point hold for Arlington. But once again, I want to keep this point home to the folks watching, is that this is really contested about who is using their abilities at the right time. Okay, so in that 3 points ago, where Arlington was just dumping in ultimates, that was poor. They could have kept those and probably won that second point on bomb refractory if they kept some of those. So I think they're going to play a little bit more carefully and a little bit more intelligently now, as it looks like BGSU is trying to attempt to capture the point.
I love this defensive utilization of Overclock coming in from Bucko, but we do get rid of the tank. Shady Snare taking the Genji win, the W in his favor. The bubble to help out Bucko with the Genji deflect. Oh, that was so smart. All around, like I keep saying, a battle of intelligence, a battle of who is using their cooldowns the best. Andrew, I want to really like acknowledge how well Andrew is using those allied bubbles. They're so good, and it's genuinely keeping his team alive longer than expected. Multiple times, Bucko was like 1 headshot, 2 headshots maybe away from dying, and then a bubble at the very last minute helps him live a little bit longer, and I love that from Andrew playing the Zarya. We do have grab lined up here, and you have to be a little bit smart here. Hopefully it'd be used in favor of against the Shady Snare Blade, and it definitely is. Everyone just evaporates right now. Andrew, what happened to you? Yeah, I saw. The ragdoll was really funny to see, but Gransco all by himself, rest of the team of Arlington able to just kind of clean it right up even without their tank. Great stuff all around. This is, by the way, the 5th and final point for Flashpoint. Whoever wins this gets an extra point on the board, and look, it's looking a little bit sour for Bowling Green right now.
Yeah, once again, Andrew using those grabs in a defensive and then offensive capability, right? He captured Shady, who was using the Dragon Blade, so he wasn't able to get any damage off of it, which we know was their last win condition, because Grant will follow up and get a lot of those heroes. Here's a backline Dragon Blade. Can he get anything done with it?
He gets a bubble as well, and we pop the Coalescence to try and get rid of, and try to keep our team sustained for a little bit longer, but not going to be working. Tags. Beautiful stuff all around. I keep saying but it really is just beautiful stuff. Really well-timed cooldowns, well-timed bubbles, well-timed ultimates, well-timed everything for Arlington. All Bowling Green has is maybe 10 seconds to contest, and then Night Levels and Grand Skull on the Rampage and the Overclock. At the very least, there's no grab to interrupt you, but we have to touch right now. Right now! Right now! Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oof, that shows
Oh
a little lack of discipline from the side of BGSU, just knowing how quickly that timer can go. They had to sacrifice somebody to touch the point. And Mott, they had the advantage in there. They had 2 ultimates on their side with no support ultimates for the side of Arlington. Like, that was their point to win, to take back in their favor, and they weren't able to touch to keep it alive. You just hate to see it.
I get so depressed, seeing that, and seeing that kind of stuff happen, where it's like, you have the old economy to deal with this, you have the old economy to bring this back in your favor, and then the timer is so fast. I don't even think with Lucio's speed boost they were able to get there in time. If they had used both speed boost and shout, they definitely would have. But you saw at the very last second, they were kind of splitting apart. You saw some flankers going to flank. You saw Junker Queen, and I believe one of the DPS just kind of going straight forward towards main. But there's no time for that. It's a matter of go in as a unit, go in with speed boost and with shout, utilize that rampage, because the point isn't on top, it's the bottom.
Right.
That high ground does not count as a point. It's not like, that's
Right.
not the objective. That high ground is really good to fight it out and duke it out, but that low ground, that's exactly where you have to go. Unfortunately, we were going towards the wrong area. I would have rampaged onto a point. She would have made it. Junker Queen would have made it. If Junker Queen rampage onto a point, would have made it. But it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. We're going to be seeing 2-1 in favor of Arlington going into our 4th map of the night, which is going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar. And again, haven't seen this map in a long minute, but I love this map. This is perfect for that dive or poke compositions, which I think both teams here have been showing very great proficiency in both today.
Yeah, and this is the hero roulette. What is Andrew going to bring out on tank? We've seen him play almost every tank there is in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he brought out Ramatra or something like that, just to mix it up even more. So yeah, I do love the hybrid and escort maps, just because people can play more tactfully, right? It's not just this all-out, all kind of team deathmatch. Who's getting more eliminations. This is like, okay, let's play around structures. Let's play around architecture. Let's set up a defense and try to thwart the attack from the offense, right? So I really do love these sorts of maps, and so there's a lot of formations that teams can play with going in here. So definitely really cool stuff from both of these squads. But Arlington up 2-1 in this series. So let's see if BGSU can. They showed a lot of grit. They showed a lot of good things in that last map. They had a couple of win conditions, and when they were able to execute them, they won. They secured a point. They secured a team fight, whatever. But sometimes that tidal wave, that pressure, that onslaught that Arlington can put on you, just because how aggressive they are, how nasty they can be, sometimes you forget what your win condition is, or you kind of press the wrong button as you're flying in with the Dragon Blade or whatever it might be, and so then it just goes out the window and you end up losing it. So that's when you have to really rest on your what's your plan B, right? Okay, if that didn't work, what are we doing next? Everybody just scramble and run around like chicken with your head cut off. But no, a good team will be able to rally back. Okay, that one didn't work. What do we do next? And so that's the next level that BGSU needs to get to. They want to contend with some of these top teams in the league.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you just said it so beautifully. Going into Watchpoint, we do see BGSU there, BSU, Bowling Green, going to be on the defense here, and I'm very, very excited to see how, because their defense was very, very solid even on Paris, so they might have lost at the very end, but they were still really solid even up until the end, you know? So I can definitely see us going for another kind of Pariso kind of vibe where it goes almost all the way to, third point and things like that, especially with all those long corridor hallway spaces that Sigma just kind of dominates very, very well. And then if we go in with the same composition where we have like the Bab Lucio or we have like the Bab Zen, it should go in their favor very, very nicely. Bowling Green, however, gonna be sticking with, like you were saying earlier, the Doomfist. We're going in for that little bit of that dive composition, going in the Shady Snare, gonna be backing up, backed up by the Light Weaver and then the Ana, of course, as well in the back line. Arlington, however, also gonna be facing the dive, but a little bit more of a traditional dive composition here. Going in with the Winston, got the Brig for the Ana protection. Ana gonna be getting a bunch of heals off of Winston, diving in. It's gonna be a very, very fun time, and Buckle on the Tracer gonna be really, really interesting to see what they can scout out for their team here. Good start already going into that high ground on the bridge, but now it's a matter of, can you get past Echo? Can you get past this good defense from Bowling Green?
The Doomfist is definitely an interesting pick here, just because yeah, there's a lot of high ground, low ground, but you're not going to really dive in as people are attacking you, right? You're going to have to wait for them to dive you, just like you did there, and then kind of thwart the attack that way. So a very interesting choice. I think there's other characters that might do that a little bit better, maybe like the Orisa, things like that. So very interesting here, but we know Gransko is a prolific player, so sometimes it doesn't even matter what the matchup is. If you're just better, then that's all that matters. So yeah, do like it. This is a practiced formation or team composition from the side of BGSU, so let's see if they can use it to great effect here. A couple members are falling down left and right, but Gransko is remaining stalwart as he's been doing this entire match.
I just want to mention right now that nobody noticed the Tracer backcapping the point for 75 full meters, by the way. Until like the very last second when Andrew went to help out his Tracer. That was huge for the side of Arlington. They just sneakily start pushing the payload, and now everyone is forced to completely reposition. Unfortunately for Bowling Green, they were comfortable on the high ground, they were comfortable, but now they're back on the low ground, having to come in, come out, and it's Arlington who's just in a really good spot right now. Really good EMP coming in from that level, is getting the EMP and getting the virus. Oh, Ana, behind you, bestie.
I get this.
Goodbye.
There it is. Yeah.
But
it might have been a little too late, Mott, because the other side, Winston was doing mad work. And I think if this will go the way of not Bowling Green, Arlington, it looks like Gransko has to use his ult to get out of here and regroup with this team. I don't think they're going to have time to contest this point. Oh, there it is, Gransko. He does fly in.
He flies in, but he is literally at no HP. There's a pulse bomb, not gonna get stuck onto that Ana, giving Xing a little bit of life here, thankfully, but I don't think, with everyone kind of staggering in one by one, trying their best to contest point, not gonna be enough here. Nightmare and Evan trying to get themselves out of this situation. Good sleep on the Winston, but oh my gosh, they are really overextending to get rid of these supports. Again, gonna be probably Buckle back on the payload, just kind of moving it along nice and easy.
So I don't like that re-engagement on the side of BGSU, because that just allowed, it was one, you weren't going to win, so just let them get the point. You set up on the ship, set up on the high ground, and let them come at you like you have been doing. Stick to that game plan. They went away from their game plan once again, Bot, and now look how much cart push they got. It's already halfway through point 2, right? So they have to remember to stay disciplined, stay with their game plan. They've been coached, they know what they need to do, they just have to stick with it and not get rattled, especially when you see Andrew on the Winston coming at you, hyper-aggressive tank, just wants to get in your face and take you down. So they really need to stick with their game plan here as the eliminations come flying in from both sides.
Alright, that's a Primal trying to get rid of the Sombra. Did take care of Evan earlier, but this is, again, still a really good in favor for Arlington. That car is already super close to the next checkpoint. It's still being pushed as we speak. We see Netherville staying on the Sombra, and I think they're going to be getting out of there just by the nick of their teeth. Or the nick of time by their teeth. You know what I'm trying to say.
Body parts flying.
They're definitely getting somewhere.
So, Mott, something I have to point out here is that the Shady Snare on the Echo, I don't feel like is getting a ton of value, right? Like, what eliminations have they been put on the board? Are they getting, like, the duplicate? Like, does that even really matter? Like, who's duplicating that is really beneficial? So, I just don't really think that Shady is doing enough here on the Echo. I'd like to see something that can put them a little bit more DPS, cause a little bit more distraction, maybe a Soldier or Sojourn, something like that. So I really would like to see that switch off of the Echo at this point. So we'll see if he continues to stay on it.
And again, like you're saying, you know, the Echo on Chaser is not working the way that Tag's Echo is working so well, right? Tag's is a very easy job. Destroy Nightmare and destroy Evan. And he's been doing that very, very well. Even so well, actually. Nightmare goes over to the Brigitte to help out Evan a little bit more with all these dives onto the Ana. Great sleep there. Oh, Tag's gonna be duplicating the Ana here. Double support in favor of Andrew. That's gonna be a problem. And we get that Nano as well. Oh, it's gonna be primal for days, and we see that for sure. Good anti. Does it get anyone? No, got out of the duplicate before it could really hit anybody. But this doesn't really matter. We still see the Nano did its job. It's still a good fight for Arlington up until, there we go, 9 level just kind of taking care of everyone in a really great jiffy. Good on Andrew for not popping the primal, however. I would have personally. If I got Nano on Winton, primal. We primaling.
I mean, it was a free Nano basically from Tags, and that sleep dart was actually from Tags, who had duplicated the Ana. So that was a really nice piece of skill there from him. I do like to see the patience there from Andrew, and Night Levels has been doing so much work. The amount of DPS this character is putting out has been incredible. At the top of the program, you and I were talking about how annoying Sombra can be, and Night Levels is putting that on display quite handily in this matchup here. And a massive primal from Andrew just bouncing the backline around.
Unfortunate duplicate from Shady Snare. Tried going for the Winston so we can have double tank in favor of Bowling Green, but was unable to get anything started. Just kind of got destroyed in a second. The EMP from the high ground. Is it going to be against kill supports? It's not. Oh my goodness. I love this with the support shuffle. It really is real here. Keeping everyone alive a little bit longer. Nilo is not getting anything off that EMP, but at the very least, Arlington is backing up. They cannot get past this corner that Grandskull is playing so well. Great cover, great corner. Just kind of poking out. And what can we see here? Snare does get Buckle with these stickies. Missing the sleep, unfortunately, but we're still going to continue on.
Yeah, a minute 30 on the clock. I have to give Grandskull a lot of credit. He's playing this kind of defensive, come at me, bro, Doomfist, like, really well. He's not overcommitting, not overextending too hard. He's just kind of staying, let them come to me, and then he'll punch somebody away. He just wants to take time off the clock. He's not looking to try to get a ton of picks. He just wants to push people away. Okay, but here comes Andrew diving in.
That's a really good sleep on Grandskull right there. That allows Tax to one get duplicate on Doomfist, and also lets Andrew actually come in and start an assault on the backline without Doom being able to peel for them for at least 3 seconds, which is a huge amount of time. The meteor strikes, in order to retreat, you have to at some point. Also, it gives you you're on a little bit of ult charge, unless you just go right back in with little to no healing. That is a dead Grant, that's a dead Andrew. It's up to the DPSs to secure it, and they absolutely do. I love to see it. It's just Buckle trying to contest on the Tracer a little bit longer. And I'm sorry, I completely forgot Tags. I'm so sorry. I completely disrupted right there. This is a great showcase of the DPSs holding their own. Still, even so on, Tags with the stickies. Bro is actually just kind of crazy. Actually crazy.
It's just 1v1 battles out here. It's like we're in arcade mode, not just like 1v1 who's going to come out, as each character is just trying to survive as long as they can to get the rest of the team back. Can Shady Snare he does get the duplicate with the extra bit on the tank to just have some survivability, and he does able to stall for his team enough to get back with the spawn re-advantage, but it looks like Arlington is not out of this yet. They do have 3 members here, but the rally comes flying through from Nightmare to keep the rest of the team topped up, and that giant shield just flashed right into Andrew's face, said, no, sir, you're not getting on this point today. And they are cleaning up here in overtime as BGSU with a massive hold here on point 3. Can they finish it up with just a few ticks remaining? Yes, they can.
That stall, that hold was so good from Bowling Green, especially from Shady Snare. The way that he just kept coming back, the duplicate and then the time between the duplicate and going back into like your regular echo form was just enough time of invulnerability for the rest of Bowling Green to come back and defend and able to just take it out. First of all, they got them all the way down to overtime, which is humongous, especially at 2 points. Two, they didn't get cap at 3 points. That's also really good. And then three, now it's up to Arlington to have that same defense as Bowling Green did. That was just overall very, very clutch stuff from Bowling Green. That's the definition of clutch right there, honestly.
For sure, and we all know how difficult point 3 of Gibraltar can be, even with all the little map changes they did to the spawns and things like that. It's still definitely a really tough point to cap, but the juggling done by BGSU, they had the right heroes coming in at the right time, being able to stall just enough to keep the point alive until they got all their members back, was just absolutely massive there. So, but they have a big hill to climb. They have to get all the way to the end of the map and complete it, basically, in order to win this map and keep the series alive for their team. So that is a tall order, especially coming up against this Goliath in the University of Texas at Arlington.
Yeah, for sure. And I like Andrew on the Winston a lot as well. That's what I'm mentioning. Even though, Winston can be such a a pick. Sometimes it goes really well, other times he doesn't synergize very well with the composition. The comp here is going to say the exact same on both ends. Then we're going to be sticking with the Brigida instead of going back to the Life Weaver, which is also a really solid pick. I think right now we just see a very standard, dive composition, this time with Doom instead of Winston, this time with Sombra instead of the Tracer, but still, the same job is going to be completed here. A little bit of poke, little bit of poke. Can we see an opening? Grant surely does. Going over to Andrew, trying to take the 1v1 on the high ground. It's a big purple on the high ground, forcing Andrew to peel back for the rest of his team, as they are, honestly, they were in a really bad spot for a second there.
Yeah, the Buckle noticed that, and then he decided to pressure the backline, right? So that they had to deal with him so that the rest of the team could disengage, get healed up, and come back without any eliminations on the board. So heads-up play there from Buckle to kind of keep his team alive. But as I said, that a whip shot to the noggin sends it back to spawn.
And can we get the fire? Can we get the beam here? We just barely allow the Echoes to both live here. Both of them just kind of having to take it back a little bit. Evan, your game. Oh, great nade, but not going to be enough. Only 60 HP instead of 100. That nerve coming in to bite him, but is it going to be enough for University of Arlington to push this point, as Bowling Green is still doing a really good job of the defense here?
So the Bowling Green on the attack, I think they have to wait for that Ana to come back, because that's the bulk of that healing, though. So they're going to keep the high ground position just because they don't want to lose it, because it is so crucial on this point 1 here. But Grant cannot go down. Okay, there's that Ana bio grenade to keep the team up. They're looking at a way to re-engage now. They're grouped up as 5. Here comes the duplicate.
Thank you for correcting me, by the way. But definitely really good duplicate from Tags. They're going to take care of both supports at the same time. They're going to be forcing Arlington, maybe not Arlington. I'm sorry, for Bowling Green to kind of back up a bit. You don't have your supports. You don't have the Brigade. You don't have the Ana. You need to force them to kind of back up a bit here. Even that, the way that Nelly was able to just kind of escape these situations is so good. It has been, honestly, Nelly being the slipperiest character right now on the Sombra has been a really big pain for Arlington. Buckle waiting on the perfect opportunity to utilize that pulse bomb, and we see an EMP being cooked here. Who's gonna pull the Q first? Who's gonna pull the trigger? I love this. And it's gonna be Night Level's going in with the EMP, and then Buckle responds, taking care of Evan with the pulse bomb. Unfortunately, your Ana can't get out of that very easily. We're going in for the meteor strike, and get out of there, Sting, and he cannot, unfortunately. Andrew popping the primal. It's a whole lot of ultimate is being used right now. We only have a minute left to continue this onslaught for Bowling Green, and are they able to, is the question here. They are able to push the payload a little bit longer here. Just Andrew able to come back alongside Tags to defend the payload even longer, and they successfully do that. 1 minute left. Only Jupiter with the rally gonna be the big factor here, hopefully, to keep Bowling Green at bay. And on the other hand, Bowling Green only has Nano, so pretty even right now.
Yeah, I gotta say the Winston Primal is definitely the better defensive tool, right? Because you can stall that point for so long, just jumping around with that huge HP pool, and that was definitely the trade that they were looking for to extend that fight and keep it in their favor. So, yeah, we'll see. The time is ticking down. Only 30 seconds left on the clock mod for them to capture point 1.
They have to answer it now or never. 25 seconds left on the clock. Again, they only have Rally. They're gonna have to pop it very soon. Buckle is down for the count. And we're fine. Good protection on the Ana. You see Grant's trying to dive the supports, but the supports being so synergized with one another, he's unable to. But they're gonna be able to cap here if no one pushes right here, right now. They do. There's a Rally gonna push the Rally back a tiny bit. We still have Meteor Strike at the ready, so if anything happens, Xing does go down. That's huge. There's a Nano on Tags who's duplicated into the Doomfist. Wait, this is a game here. This is a hold here, and we're able to get it. We're still going. We have a whole lot of Doomfist on board right now, but there's a duplicate ending for Buckle. Not for Buckle, for Tags there. And the Pulse Bomb gonna be hitting anyone? No, there's a whole lot of things going on here. We still have 0.16 left, and in the end, it's gonna be Arlington with the great hold at the end. The Rally coming in clutch, the duplicate coming in clutch, everything coming in clutch. It's gonna be a 3-1 in favor of Arlington in this series.
So in that, before all that chaos was happening, right? Andrew was taking a ton of space. He had 5 people focused on him, and you just saw the Brigadier just kind of swinging. She was protecting herself against any Sombra flank, right? But then you saw the 2 supports disengage together. They didn't get picked, right? They just backed out right around the corner, and then at the last moment, they used the Rally Bash to touch the point at 0.16 meters, okay? Then they have the shield up. They're blocking a ton of damage. The rest of the team comes filing in from the other door, which is basically like a pincer maneuver because everyone's looking at the Brigitte because she's the one with the flag, the shield, the mace, everything. And then the other 3 members come and just crash into them and start taking people down. Tags with the duplicate, adding more to that HP pool, duplicating the Doomfist. Absolutely a massive selection there. Bouncing people around, taking a lot of aggro once again. And so from there, the cleanup was inevitable. So a really good disengagement, really good discipline, and then the split-second decision to recontest, knowing that the team probably in the comms was like, okay, do it, go, right there at the last moment. So really well done from the side of Arlington. That wins them the map, that wins them the series, and so they're taking this extra victory coming into the winter break.
Absolutely, and it's so nice to see, come off of a really good win like that into the winter break. And at some point, I think you can tell there's a lot going on at some point, and I was like, oh my god, there's like 3 Doomfists, there's like 2 Meteor Strikes going on, there's a Rally, everything's red, everything's blue, everyone is everywhere. There's an EMP in the back somewhere. Like that's the beauty of Overwatch. It just kind of becomes like this like I'm gonna say a mess. It becomes a mess of ultimates and flashing colors, and I love it. It's so chaotic. And at the very end, I'm gonna be honest, at the very end, I saw 2 little red models, and I was like, all right, I know who won. It was just, again, great stuff. All around for Arlington, just making sure, okay, you go in, go with the Rally. I'm gonna be right there in 2 seconds. Just stall, kill the Tracer, kill one of the supports, and we can secure the game. And they absolutely did that beautifully. Again, congratulations to Arlington for winning 3-1 over Bowling Green in this series in the final week of the winter session of EGF Overwatch. Now, before we get into all that, we do have an interview lined up, but it's gonna be after this really short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.